When we moved into this house last spring, I chose this cute little room to be my art studio. Then I put all my stuff in here and ran outside to grow flowers, and it basically stayed a disaster all summer. But it's winter now, and I really need my creative sanctuary back. So I've been working really hard on this space, and today I'm going to show it to you in all of its glory. I'm going to take you through all the changes I made, new furnishings, new lighting, and some sweet little touches I added to really make it feel like me. I'm also going to take you through my design process for this room because I went about it a little bit differently than I usually do, and I'm really glad I did. So let's get into it. Usually when I'm designing a new room, I jump right into furniture placement and color palettes and things like that. But I wanted to design my studio in a different way. I wanted to focus on how I wanted to feel when I came in here, because an art studio can feel really different depending on how you set it up. It can feel cozy or minimal. It can feel chaotic or very structured. It can feel grounded or dreamy. So how did I want to feel? I knew if I figured this out, it would help me make all the other decisions I was going to need to make. For me, when I walk into my studio, well, I want to feel alive and awake and happy. I also really want it to be organized because nothing will interrupt a creative flow like not being able to find your scissors when you need them. So I want it to be clutter-free, but I don't want it to be minimal in any way. I need a bit of coziness because for me, creativity goes hand in hand with daydreaming. So starting from how I wanted to feel, I then moved on to thinking about what I wanted to do in this space and what I was going to need to do those things. So the first thing, of course, is making art, making pretty things, which means I need workspace and I need art supplies and storage for them, and I need a comfortable chair. The second thing is relax and rest and daydream. So I knew I wanted a spot where I could stretch out and just let the world go by for a while. The third thing, stretching and doing yoga. This is something that I honestly haven't done much since we moved here because I haven't had a great space for it, but it's really good and important for me. So I want to make sure I have space to roll out my yoga mat and a place to store it when I'm done. Fourth, I want to host my friends here. I don't get a lot of overnight guests, but when I do, I want them to have a really comfortable place to stay. So that daydream bed is going to be doing double duty. Okay, with my feelings and functions all listed out, the next step was to think about what I already had, what I might need to pick up, and make a list of projects that I could work through to get this space up and running. The first thing on the list was to paint this room. The color that it was before wasn't bad, but the green was a little bit dingy, and it's not an ideal color for an art studio, especially because this room faces north and doesn't get a whole lot of natural daylight. I did look at some other colors. I was thinking about like a light pink or maybe like a warm terracotta color, but when it came down to it, the thing that made me happiest was white. It does make me feel awake and alive, and it makes it feel a lot brighter in this space. The next thing on my list was to address the lighting situation because the boob light that was in here before was not cutting it. So I found this really pretty gold light fixture that has 6 bulbs. So that was a big upgrade in just the raw amount of light that comes into the room. And also it's a really pretty light fixture. It's like jewelry for the ceiling, and I really love it. Next up, a desk. I have this long IKEA one, which is great in terms of giving me surface area and functionality. But a few years ago, I had gone through a pink marble contact paper phase, but it's not ideal on a work surface to have it be that glossy and reflective. So I knew I was going to have to remove that contact paper. Also, I really like to have room to spread out when I'm making stuff. So when I saw this desk pop up on Facebook Marketplace for 25 bucks, I got in my Honda Fit immediately and went over and bought it because it's perfect. Now for storage. What I have is this EVAR storage unit, which is very functional, but it's huge and a little bit ugly. So maybe I can do something to make it a little cuter. Same thing with this drawer unit I have. Super functional. All of these wide, shallow drawers are perfect for holding art supplies. But at some point, I am going to want to cuten that thing up a little bit. What else do I need? A bed. I found this day bed from IKEA and it's perfect. It is not expensive. It is super cute. I like how the black plays with the other colors in the room, and it pulls out into a king size bed. So when we have people over, we have plenty of room for them. And a rug to get that cozy feeling. Specifically a flowered rug, because even when I can't grow flowers, I still like to look at them. I found this one in the Black Friday sales and it was not expensive. Plus it's washable. So if I make a mess, I can just throw it in the washing machine. With all my plans in place and purchases made, it was time to move to the execution phase. First up, putting down the rug. I cannot believe what a difference this one thing made to the room. I love it so much, the flowers, of course, and the color story, and the level of coziness it brought to the space. As soon as I put it down, the whole room came to life. Rugs are magic. Now I'm going to take the pink marble contact paper off the table. The plain black surface underneath is a little art studio-y already because I used to paint on it in the past. But the matte surface is much easier on the eyes. And I used a hairdryer to loosen the adhesive so I could pull it right off. Such a satisfying project. It looks so much better. And it fits next to the shelves perfectly. Truly, it could not be a better fit. I'm going to put that rolling desk along the wall to the left to make a big L-shaped work area. And I love that it's on wheels, so I can also pull it out into the middle of the room if I want to. So far, so good, right? The next thing I am going to do is set up this super cute lamp. We are truly blessed in Pittsburgh to have the only Anthropologie home outlet in the world, which has treasures like this at normal non-Anthropologie prices. It's really adorable, and I love how it goes with the desks and the rug. Now it's time to set up the daybed. I am not going to make you watch me assemble all 90-some pieces of this thing, but I do want to share my favorite tip, which is to take a minute to separate all your parts before you begin, because it makes life so much easier. Now, at this point, the room was nowhere near done, but I was still able to soft launch the art studio functionality by making my dear friend Hinata a birthday card. It was really fun to slap some paint around again after almost a year. So I got the day bed set up and I put the bedding on it, and I took the bottom shelf out of the EVAR unit so that I could roll the chest of drawers underneath there. And I think that's going to work really well. It keeps all the art supplies kind of corralled in one area. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Next, I had to unpack all of my many art supplies, sketchbooks, art books, and substrates. This took me a while, but happily everything fit in the space that I had allotted for it. I have a lot of art supplies, y'all. I haven't needed to buy anything for a while, and honestly, I may never need to buy anything again. These drawers were pretty easy to do because all of these little bits were already in organizer bins, because I had them in this drawer unit in my last house too. So this one was pretty easy to unpack. I was able to fit all of my art books and substrates and different kinds of paper on this other little shelving unit, along with a few little cute bits and bobs. and a bit of washi tape on the edge of the shelves just to make them fit the vibe of the room. Okay, so that's where we're at today. Most everything is unpacked, but I am left with a massive mess on basically every horizontal surface in the room. This is just all the random stuff that didn't fit with all of the other things that I was unpacking. So my task now is to organize it, tidy it, and find it all a home. This was one of those tasks where you dread it and you put it off for days, and then you finally do it and it's not that bad. But I do have to wonder, what is all this stuff and why am I the one who has to decide where it goes? This is what I'm talking about. I have a timer in the shape of a green pepper. I have a pin of Beyonce looking beautiful in the EXO video. And I have a lens cleaning cloth. I don't know where any of this stuff goes. I mean, yeah, sure, it is all my stuff. But does that really mean I have to be in charge of all of it? All silliness aside, I just had to do the stuff that you always do when you're organizing a bunch of unrelated stuff, which is to group that into categories and then decide arbitrarily where each category is going to live. It did end up taking me, I don't know, maybe an hour to do all of this. And I have to admit, watching it back in time lapse right now is pretty satisfying to see the surface slowly become clearer and clearer. Can someone explain to me why I keep buying storage containers when I already have a million storage containers? So many that I actually need a storage container to store them in. Mysteries of the universe. This is a funny little closet that's kind of built into the dormers. So it's got a slanted top and a slanted bottom. But there's a decent amount of shelf space back there, and I think I can put all of these extra storage bins in that storage bin. A clear desk space is a real joy. Now I'm going to set up my projector so I can watch My Neighbor Totoro over and over while I paint. Somehow I've ended up with several projectors in my possession, and I actually end up switching this one out for a different one later. But regardless, I'm hooking it up to an old Apple TV and a little speaker, and I guess that's it for me now, y'all. I'm just gonna watch movies and hibernate, and I'll see you in the spring. Just kidding, just kidding. But it is looking pretty hibernate-y out there. Thinking about all the feelings I wrote down at the beginning, bright, alive, awake, etc., I realized I needed more light over in this corner. So, Facebook Marketplace to the rescue. It's looking pretty cozy, eh? And just like that, the studio is done. And I decided to christen it by doing a little bit of artwork. So I painted these little flowers on the shelves, partly because flowers make me happier than just about anything else, but also because I wanted this room to feel unmistakably mine. Mission accomplished. There is more to do for sure. Just like my garden, I am positive I'll be working on this space forever. But for now, it's everything I wanted it to be. And I am so excited to just be in here, finally, and be making stuff. So make sure to subscribe and follow along to see what all of that turns out to be. And thank you for joining me for this whole process. Stay warm out there, friends, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.